Hello guys, welcome back to El Merengue Culé. I hope we're having a fantastic day because it's about to get even better. Finally, the video that you guys have been asking for, the Barcelona player ratings for the 2020-21 season are finally here. And yes, I know these should have came out about a month ago, but I got very busy and I had to take some time for myself to focus on school to pass a very important test. But that's out of the way, so let's get to it. Alright guys, and before we actually get to the player ratings, I want to break down the scale really quick. It's going to be from 1 to 10. 10 being the absolute GOAT, the best season ever, and 1 being the absolute worst season ever. But the curious thing about that scale is that 5 is right in the middle. So if you get a 5, that's a pretty average season. So not good, but not bad. Alright. With that being said, let's get straight into it. We're only going to be covering the defenders for today, and there is 11 players, so, quite a bit to get to. So, let's get started. First on the list, we have, honestly, the best player on the Barcelona team, Samuel Umtiti. I think he blew. To summarize this season, I think this was the final chance he had at Barcelona. Barcelona gave him opportunity after opportunity, season after season, and well, he just didn't match up to what he once showed us. After the injuries a few seasons back, he just never recovered at the level, and quite frankly, he is at the worst level of his career. Only 16 appearances this season, very, very low, missing over half of the season. No goals, no assists. I mean, what was this guy good at? Defending? No. He was slow, and quite frankly, sure, maybe 80% of the game he was focused, making good tackles, stopping shots, but then, 20% of the game, he quite frankly just lost his mind and always made stupid mistakes. That's the thing about him. You could guarantee at least one crucial mistake out of him this season, every game. So, I mean, for me, it's going to have to be a 3 out of 10 rating. Very bad, has to go. Too many opportunities he's blown away. Barcelona cannot stand another season of paying his salary to get nothing in return. With a 20% tackle percentage, gotta go. On to the next player. Alright guys, and up next we have a captain, one of Barcelona's captains, Sergi Roberto, who quite frankly had a very disappointing season, and I'm very sad to say that. But he picked up an injury that pretty much left him out of more than half of the season with only 20 appearances, 1 goal and 2 assists. And the moral of the story of Sergi Roberto's season is that it just wasn't enough. What did Barcelona get out of having him in the starting 11? Not enough. He did not attack enough, and defensively, he did not provide enough stability to compensate for the lack of attacking qualities. Sure, he links up well with the midfielders. He puts in good crosses, but again, not enough. And when you actually watch him play, he just looks way too slow to be out there on the pitch. So unfortunately, I'm very sad to say this, but I think the best thing for both parties is to part ways. Sergi Roberto, I am going to give you a 3.5 rating for this season. Up next, we have Neto, the replacement goalie for Ter Stegen. And this one, it's a little bit weird because he really was not injured for any part of the season. It's just Ter Stegen was just killing it. He was just killing it, which left Neto to only play 12 games, which is very, very little. Right away, you can't give him a good rating despite how well he played in those 12 games. He got 6 clean sheets, which is not bad at all. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. I think he's a very good goalkeeper, but whenever you are competing up against a player like Ter Stegen, it doesn't leave you much room to play. Just not enough room to play with. So I'm going to give him a 3.5 out of 10. Again, I think he's a very good goalkeeper, and if we didn't have Ter Stegen, I think I'd be very happy with keeping Neto. But again, same thing with Sergi Roberto. I think the best thing for both parties is to part ways. Up next, we have Junior Firpo, who falls into a very similar boat as Neto. Good players ahead of him. quite frankly, didn't get into that starting position too many times. Total of 18 appearances, many of those coming in as a substitute. 1 goal, 1 assist. I don't think he's a bad player at all. I just don't think he's at the caliber to be a Barcelona player, which is why he got so little, gameplay appearances. I'm going to give him a rating of 3.5 out of 10. Age 24, I think he does have a little bit of room to improve. Not too much, which is why, again, for the 3rd time in a row, a rating of 3.5 out of 10. And again, best for both parties to part ways. I think Barcelona could get a decent amount of money for him, and Junior Firpo could find and be a lot happier at a different club. Alright guys, and up next we have Jordi Pique, another Barcelona captain, and I'm going to promise you right now, he is not going to get another 3.5 out of 10 as the previous 3 players. Again, another player that picked up an injury, kind of like Sergi Roberto, was out for about half of this season. He came back for a little bit, got injured again. It was hard for him to find his rhythm after that injury he picked up. A total of 23 appearances, 2 goals, 1 red card, 3 yellow cards. And for me, the most frustrating thing about Jordi Pique's season was the fact that he would play, out of the games he played, 90% of the game, he would be laser focused, commanding the team, yelling, getting the players situated, being a leader. And then there were that 10% where he would slip up, kind of like Umtiti, and make a mistake that could cost us a goal, and in some games it cost us valuable points that could have been the difference between us ending 3rd place like we did and possibly even ending top of the league, which is why I'm going to give Jordi Pique a 5.5 rating, a little bit above average, just because he's a captain. He has to get above average. He played well, but there were those mistakes that cost us too many points. The amount of time he spent injured is just a little bit too big. Alright guys, and up next we have Lenglet, a very debatable and controversial player. I think it's very easy to get caught up on Lenglet's mistakes earlier on in the season and forget about how well he actually played. He played almost every single game, a total of 48 appearances, which is very good, meaning that Ronald Koeman and the rest of the team trusted him. However, only had 1 goal. Now, the reason why I think he had so many mistakes is because he was not set at a very good position. Being the left center back next to Jordi Alba, a player that quite frankly just loved to attack and disregarded a lot of the defending duties, makes it very hard on Lingard. Makes it to the point where a lot of times it was a 2v1, and as a defender, that's the last thing you want. And we saw it happen, for example, when Fede Valverde scored against Barcelona in El Clásico. Again, another 2v1. So he had it very hard, and yes, he could have had a better season, which is why I'm going to give him a rating of a 6.5. Now, I know this is a very debatable one, so let me know down below what you would have given him. And up next is where it starts to get juicy. Sergi Dest, a total of 44 appearances, 3 goals, and 1 assist. And that 1 assist really left me thinking. Sergi Dest is obviously known for his attacking capabilities. Not bad at defending, but not the best. Where you really get the milk out of Sergi Dest is from him attacking. And quite frankly, 1 assist is just not good enough. I'm gonna be truly honest. So I started looking a little bit deeper into the statistics. Has a 19% cross accuracy, which again throws it off. So then you think of his actual playing style, and he is the type of player to get deep into the attacking third and then look for a pass to the top of the box where it then gets redistributed. So while he does provide a good outlet to get up to the field, he doesn't directly get too many assists, which is where I'm gonna criticize him a little bit for this season. However, because he is a very young player, this is his first season at Barcelona, I would say it's still a very positive season. Again, 44 total appearances, not easy for a young player like himself. So I'm gonna give him a 6.5 rating, but I'm gonna say I am very excited for Emerson next season. I think giving Sergi Dest a little bit of competition. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Emerson might even start over Sergi Dest. I don't know. But the fact that there's that bit of competition is going to push him to get better and better and better and to keep looking for those results where I think Barcelona is going to really milk him and get the most out of him. So I think he had a positive season, but I think there's a lot to improve on. So again, a 6.5 rating for Sergi Dest. Let's move on. I promise, guys, it's starting to get very juicy, and a player that I am very, very excited for, Ronald Araujo. Man, this guy, for me, I am very excited for what the future has in store for him. A total of 33 appearances isn't as much as I would have liked to. Again, he picked up a few injuries that set him back a little bit. 2 goals, 1 assist. At the age of 22, I am very happy with this season. When you compare his stats, not only to the rest of the Barcelona defenders, but to the La Liga defenders as a whole, he is up there with his statistics. However, I do think he still has a lot to learn. I think one of the greatest things about him is his ability to block shots. I think that goes very overlooked, but I think there could have been a lot more goals we would have conceded if he didn't get as many blocks. I also think his aerial presence is something that Barcelona really needs and is getting a lot out of him. Not so much for the attacking capabilities, but especially on those free kicks, on those set pieces where Barcelona suffered a lot from this season. I think Araujo offered a lot to Barcelona at a very young age. 92 pass accuracy, very, very good. And duels won, 73%. That doesn't sound like it's that good, but when you compare it to the rest of La Liga, that is very, very good. I'm going to give him a 7.5 rating. Again, there is still a lot of room for him to improve on. He did miss out a good chunk of the season, which is what's mainly hindering his rating. But very, very happy with your season, Ronald Araujo. And up next, we have Oscar Mingueza, another player like Ronald Araujo that excites me very, very much. He came almost pretty much out of nowhere at a time where Barcelona was looking at their deepest. A lot of injuries. We were picking up a lot of injuries, and honestly, we would look at our bench and we were like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Where are we going to pull a defender from? And, you know, we put our eggs in the basket and Mingueza protected them. You know, I remember, I think it was a match in the Champions League, one of his first few matches, where I was like, okay, let's analyze this player. And honestly, he does not play and look like a 22-year-old. He is calm on the ball, very good pass accuracy, very good, defending. Can play both center back as well as an outside back, which really makes it versatile and a really useful tool for Barcelona. He had a total of 39 appearances, which is insane for a player that was not even in the A team at the beginning of the season. To end up with 39 total appearances has to be commended. 2 goals, 3 assists, and we cannot forget that goal in El Clásico. Thank you very much, Oscar Mingueza. However, I will say this, and we've noted on this in the past, so it's nice to see a stat to back that up. We had seen that one of his biggest mistakes, or biggest weaknesses rather, is his aerial presence. Unlike Ronald Araujo, he has a 39% aerial winning aerial duels, which is very, very low, and it's something he needs to improve on. Similar to Ronald Araujo, I'm very happy with his season, which is why I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. However, I do think there is still a lot of room for improvement. So I am very excited for next season, Oscar Mingueza. Alright guys, and we have 2 players next, and I think we all know what the next player is going to be. Jordi Alba with an 8.5 rating. Total appearances, 49. I know, that is insane. Playing almost every single game. 5 goals as an outside back. I think this is possibly Jordi Alba's best season at Barcelona. When we contrast that to the previous season, where I think I gave him a 6.5 rating, not the highest. This season, he is absolutely killing, or he killed it this season. 15 total assists. And I know when you think back on this season, you just remember long ball to Jordi Alba, breaking that back line, and him finding Messi on that first touch, cross, and into the back of the net. It was rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Jordi Alba, without you, we would be in trouble. I've said it before, I think Jordi Alba is our best attacker, despite him being a defender. But I do think he really gets the most out of the 5 in the back formation because he does not have to worry about defending. And that is his biggest weakness, and that is why he did not score higher on the ratings. His ability, or rather his lack of ability to defend. There were just too many times where he would miss tackles, just impatient, go for the tackles, try to get that quick reward, and it would make it hell for our back line, especially Lenglet. He was the one that got all the tomatoes thrown at his face for Jordi Alba's mistakes. So that is why, again, I'm gonna give him an 8.5 rating and not higher because of his lack of defending. And as well, I think he, with a total of 13 yellow cards, that's a little bit high. And when you look at his stats, he actually does not commit as many fouls as you would think. It's more of him just using his mouth and yapping all game long, which is a lot of stupid yellow cards were picked up. So finally, the best defender at Barcelona. I think you guys can guess who it is. Marc-Andre, the Spider-Man, Ter Stegen. The amount of games this man has saved us or saved us this season is insane. A total of 42 appearances. Again, remember, he missed the early part of the season due to injury where Neto had to step up. A total of 14 clean sheets. Could have been better, but again, that is a fault of the whole team, not just Ter Stegen. 50 goals conceded, which is exactly level to the previous season, which, honestly, I thought it was going to be a little bit worse this season. So with that being said, Ter Stegen, I'm going to give you a 9.0 rating. Thank you so much for keeping our asses in a lot of games. I mean, the amount of drops, the amount of points we would have dropped without Ter Stegen is insane. So as a whole, what would I rate Barcelona's defense? As a whole, I have not thought of this, but I'm going to give them a pretty weak 6. Yeah, just a 6 flat rating. I think if we were just a little bit better at keeping goals away from our own goal, I think this season could have been ours for sure. So with that being said, that is the main place where I'm going to criticize this Barcelona, the defense, and it's where I'm going to end the video. Guys, if you enjoyed the ratings, you know what to do. Hit a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Guys, you know the deal. Let me know down below what you would have given these players, where you think I messed up, where you think I was a bit too generous. And with that being said, guys, I will see you next video.